We filled our hole back in. We're kind of putting things back to the way they were. We've got our topsoil back on. We've actually got a lot of our vegetable matter with our topsoil laying back on the surface here. Getting it pretty blended in with the ground the way it was. Not that we really have to do that, but I don't want anybody to be able to tell that we were here, you know, a couple, 3-4 years from now. We're almost done with the reclamation, guys. Brought back the dead trees and whatnot that were laying here. I had them separated. So brought them back. Put them back sort of kind of where they were. So when you're after reclamation work, in the previous video, this is a spot where we didn't have any topsoil. It was all just gravel. It's kind of like it is over there naturally. That's got no topsoil on it, but grass is coming back in. It's turning green. Leafy plants are growing up. So pretty soon this will return to just the way it was, but so this is the spot that we did test pits on last year. This is the area that we drove in on. We had to take a little bit of a road through the bush here. But we made a point of not disturbing the ground cover. So you can see that really nothing has changed as far as this forest cover here goes. And then this is where we did the digging. This is where we put a test hole. So moss is already growing back. Grass is growing back. We've got plants coming back. You know, there's not as much plant life where we excavated as there is around the edges, but this is less than a year since we did this. And you can see that it's rapidly regrowing. Lots of plants, all covered in moss. And, you know, pretty much looks natural. Looks about the way it did before. But we're just trying to show that, you know, even though we come in here and we do some mining or testing for mining, when it's reclaimed properly, in the end, nobody's ever going to know we were here. Another year, this will be completely vegetated over, just like the surrounding area. And where we did dig, I mean, it's coming back quite quickly already. You know, we've got plants here a foot tall. Growth like this happening, growth like this happening. Grasses, plants. This is all where we were working. This is all where we excavated. This was a big hole. We stacked our dirt beside it, and some down there at the end. I think I put most of it at the end there. Separated our topsoil so we could bring it back, and you know, this is the end result. Another year, the rest of the vegetation will grow back in. We'll be back to normal. And like I said, this is how we got in here. This is where we had to put a little bit of road. But we didn't dig up the forest cover. We just moved enough stuff out of our way and picked our way through the trees. So it's the same as where we didn't have road. And over there, of course, we didn't go, but over here, all of this is where we drove in and out, and it's indistinguishable from the rest of the area. For this test, we didn't have to cut down a tree. We didn't have to cut down anything. Just picked a route where we could sneak between the trees and get to where we wanted to test, which is over there. And you can't tell. You can't even tell. So, you know, as much as they talk about mining, if things are done right, we're responsible. The environment's not going to suffer. And here's a third spot we did. We did have to clear a little bit of the brush out of the way. Again, it's another spot where there's practically no topsoil, but we didn't really have to build any road here, but this is where we dug our way in. And we did test hole right here. And things are coming back pretty good. So this was all dug here. All along here, this was all dug. So we're getting good regrowth. There's a little tiny bit more topsoil here, so it's not much. We spread it around as evenly as we could. But it's coming back pretty good. This is all in dug areas. This is all dug. All of this was, even down the very bottom of our hole. It's coming back pretty good. And I mean, of course, you know, we try to throw back, you know, that moss there is probably stuff that was here originally. We try to keep as much of it as we can so that we can kind of put it back on and speed up the regrowth here. One of the reasons we pick these spots is, you know, to get the least amount of disturbance possible, avoid having to cut trees. You know, when you're looking for your test spots, you're looking for your best potential, but at the same time you want the best access, the least disturbance, you know, the most logical place to go. And sometimes you can move around a little bit because of the ground, what you're looking for is going to be the same over a given area. So you try to pick a spot where you're not going to have to cut a bunch of timber, build a lot of roads. You know, we keep it as minimal as possible while still getting the job done. And even though we had to clear the willows out of here, looks like they're alder bushes, they will return.